welcome to KMVC News. I'm Amber Tabling. Midterms are this week and Missouri Valley College wants to make sure students have the skills they need to succeed. KMVC's Clay DeVault reports on the Study Skills Workshop.
Missouri Valley College hosted the Study Skills Workshop on October 4th. Students who attended the workshop learned several new skills to help them be better prepared for their upcoming midterm exams. Valley student Liam Carney says he attended the workshop because he wants to be sure that he's getting the most out of his education.
Being a freshman, I really wanted to make sure that I have all the tools and I'm using all the tools that can really help me be effective in the further years of my classes.
Carney says the skills he learned at the workshop will help him be more prepared for his midterm exams.
Everyone has a few midterms that they don't want to take, and I mean, in general, nobody really wants to take midterms. It's not the most fun, but when you have the skills and the tools that are able to help you really do the best that you can, it's always a bit of a peace of mind. It gives you a peace of mind knowing that you have those skills.
Carney says he is least looking forward to his Intro to Programming midterm.
It's pretty much learning a new language for me right now. I haven't done a lot of programming, so this a lot of the skills I've learned tonight are definitely going to be effective in me trying to make sure that I get a good grade on that, obviously.
Carney says he would come back to the workshop again if they have another one during finals week.
Even if they taught the same stuff, it would be good just to get in here and kind of get it refreshed in my head, just so I'm able to obviously just make sure I do as well for finals as well.
For students to be successful, they need to space out their study sessions and study more than one subject in each session. Clay DeVault, KMVC News.
Another helpful tip for students is to pretend to teach the subject they are studying to another student. Missouri Valley College just finished its homecoming extravaganza, and there were many events that happened throughout the week. The torch run is a tradition that started in 1958, and as KMVC's Jayla Jackson reports, this is the other way the students get together and have school spirit.
The torch run is an event during homecoming week. 2 athletes are picked from each team to run 3 laps around MVC's campus. The men's and women's basketball team were able to win the race for their teams.
It's an indescribable feeling. Like I was going for it, and told my teammates I was going to get first place, and to actually do it, it's a beautiful feeling. I love it.
Tori was the winner of the women's. She had a great experience at the torch run this year.
I want to thank everyone for cheering. Oh my goodness, the girls and guys basketball were amazing. Everyone else around the school, they all got involved. It was great.
Getting students together was the goal for Coach Mike Macholzi.
You know, this is an opportunity, I think, for all of us to show school spirit, and I think that's something that's lacking in the country today. So for us to just get a chance for everybody to come out and root for each other and get to do this, and it's a 5K run and all you get's a t-shirt, but you're doing it for a little bit of pride for the school, and I think that's a great opportunity for everybody.
MVC's homecoming torch run was a great time for many students.
It's really cool. I really like it. It's like everyone's a family, and we never had that at my other school, so it's really cool actually.
Jayla Jackson, KMVC News.
Missouri Valley College held their annual bonfire last Friday to celebrate the start of the homecoming weekend. KMVC's Ben Boyer reports.
All right, are you ready to light this thing? All right, let's go. Let's get this homecoming pep rally underway.
The Missouri Valley College homecoming weekend kicked off with the annual 5K torch run. And to celebrate the end of the eventful week, the students and faculty came together to enjoy one of Valley's great traditions, the bonfire.
This is a big draw. The students always like this. It's just a great time. It was great weather tonight. We couldn't beat it. We thought we were going to potentially get rained out. But, it was another great crowd. There's always several hundred students here every time, plus faculty and staff and coaches. It's just a great event that we do.
Where's the dance team?
Valley students enjoyed performances choreographed by the dance team, the cheerleading squad, and the Polynesian Club. The students that attended hyped up the many different teams that competed over the homecoming weekend. Some teams included men's and women's soccer, the football team, and cross country. The night was filled with great energy coming from students, faculty, performers, and most of all, the bonfire itself. Ben Boyer, KMVC News.
The bonfire also celebrated the 100th win for women's soccer coach Drew Hawkins and his wife Lindy Limecler's induction into the Missouri Valley College Athletic Hall of Fame. The Missouri Valley College cheerleading team is among those that were affected by the American Cheerleading Association safety rule change that took effect in August. KMVC's Alex Perez reports on the new rule and how it's changing cheerleading.
The American Cheerleading Association new safety rule limits cheerleading teams from having mixed gender side tossers and backspotters to all males, which causes an effect towards school cheer teams. Missouri Valley College cheerleading head coach Victoria Cox explains on how and why the rule was processed.
They're looking out for the safety of all the cheerleaders across the board. They've looked at skills that have caused catastrophic injury, and then they look at ways to resolve that or to reduce that catastrophic injury rate so that cheerleading just does become a safer sport.
The Valley cheerleading team won the national championship tournament last year, but with the safety rule coming into play this upcoming season, Cox says the team is affected by it.
It for sure affects our team. The way we choreograph our routines is affected. Our score sheet and our score is affected. We have some girls that are so used to doing the higher level baskets, they're having to relearn how to do a lower level basket now. So it definitely has affected it. Affected how many boys we put on this team versus our second team, and it's been a challenge to get used to, and we're still trying to figure out all the little kinks and try to work them out for this year. Our team is not super excited about it either, but now they recognize that we can max out a score sheet with a much easier skill, and they're cool with that.
Alex Perez, KMVC News.
Cheer is a year-round sport, but the team doesn't start competitions until the spring semester. The Missouri Valley College Criminal Justice Department turned what used to be a closet into a hands-on crime scene lab for Valley students. KMVC's Drake Higgins reports.
Missouri Valley criminal justice majors have a new place to learn here on campus, and it's a closet turned into a hands-on crime scene lab.
The idea for the crime scene lab came about 5 or 6 years ago when Dr. Weiser was the vice president of academic affairs, and we went to her and asked if we could get a room or a building that we could use so that we could set up crime scenes that our students could then go and work in on multiple days, where we didn't have to continually reset up the scene or try to reestablish what they had already done.
We talked about how the lab was helping students in a more realistic environment.
I think a lot of our students don't always pick things up out of the book. They're not always book people. They want to get in there and get their hands on it and see what we're talking about, really.
I spoke with criminal justice major Noah Babiak about how it was helping from the student eye.
It's helped more with the physical aspect. Instead of looking at a paper all the time, you're able to actually go and look around a crime scene, look at different angles, see points where you would have missed on a piece of paper.
Babiak talked about different ways it was helping him learn.
I feel like the hands-on definitely helps because it gets you into the situation instead of just looking at a paper in a book, to where you sort of skim over everything and you just get bored. While being hands-on, you can stay interested in it and active.
Drake Higgins, KMVC News.
There is competition for internship positions in almost every field as students position themselves for the future. But for one Missouri Valley student, the competition didn't end when the internship was his. KMVC's TJ Barnes reports how that student was able to bring his wrestling skills around the world.
Missouri Valley wrestler Terry Martin got to travel around the world this summer because of his internship.
I work for Beat the Streets in Chicago. It's a nonprofit organization that helps inner city kids with wrestling, moving ahead in life, and in athletics as well. And the organization, the head guy, Dan Willis, had a friend who's the head of FCA who needed a few extra guys to go on the missionary trip to Ukraine. And he invited me, and it was from there.
Not only did Terry go to the Ukraine, but he also competed in a wrestling tournament where he took first.
I didn't expect to go out and lose. I got a lot of I got previous history of wrestling freestyle. I started wrestling freestyle and Greco before folk style. So I was pretty comfortable wrestling. It was a bit different though. I mean, different styles, different guys, you know, but it's a pretty cool experience.
Terry also looks to go back and work with the Beat the Streets organization with a future trip to either Mongolia or Turkey next year. TJ Barnes, KMVC News.
Terry Martin is competing this year for Missouri Valley's wrestling team. His season begins next month with the Baker Open. That's KMVC News for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Amber Tabling.